What's up everyone, Sam here. Alright, so in this video today, I'm going to be going through a couple ways anyone can do some really solid lead generation, some more manual, and some options to use some tools for easier and automated generation. Now, I definitely wanted to preface this too because while I'm not really one to personally split hairs, other people definitely are, and I would more so call these strategies prospect generation more so than lead generation. I know people have different definitions of what a prospect is versus what an actual lead is. I do want to obviously preface that I am well aware people think that and that there are different definitions. And in all honesty, I probably would call this more so prospect generation than lead generation, but I think an argument could be made for both. When I personally think of prospects, I think of cold phone numbers, emails, and just kind of a list of people you've probably never contacted. Leads, depending on who you ask again, I would probably say are someone who's actually shown interest in what you have to offer, not someone you just kind of scraped from a website. But for video's purposes, it is what it is, right? I think some of the same tactics can work for both for sure in this video. So the definition of lead generation is the process of identifying and acquiring potential customers for your business's product or service. Very general, which is why I prefaced the way I did, because it can be as general or specific as each person wants the definition to be. So with kind of that overview, let's get into kind of a very typical way people get leads / prospects, whatever you choose to call them. And this is a way that is much more manual, yes, especially for people who might just be new to their business, don't really feel like paying for a platform or finding someone on Fiverr just yet. So really just the way you're kind of gonna start here is lots of people like to use Google Maps. So let's say you're in the fitness industry. You can go in and type kind of any number of things, right? You have a wide open range of locations, anything from gyms to clinics, to therapists, to even like healthier restaurants or smoothie places that you can kind of target, right? So if you're just typing in gyms, you can just type it in and kind of just work through this list, right? Make sure you have kind of a simple Excel spreadsheet, on the side or whatever open with first name, last name, email, job title, phone number, company, and honestly kind of whatever you think you need to have enough information to have really good quality prospects, right? If you're not really targeting, maybe an email or something and you're wanting to target, cold calling, make sure you have those numbers and make sure you prio those numbers over those emails. So let's just click on an option, right? Speak Easy Fitness, 4.4 stars. You're gonna scroll down and you're gonna go to the website, right? So this is just kind of where you're gonna wanna scan for a phone number, an email, a person kind of there who is the decision maker of the location or the company or whatever it is. Now, here's kind of the rub. The tough thing about making a prospect list like this is you don't always get the main decision maker, right? You may just get kind of a general email or a general kind of store phone number, and that's just something kind of you need to decide. If you dig more into this, you kind of use some different search queries in Google to actually get the owner of it, or you just kind of take your chances with the general store phone number and contact. I personally wouldn't waste my time, but that's up to you. Or if you just kind of move on, right? But the goal is to find as specific as you possibly can to get a high quality prospect, right? So if you just kind of scroll through their website, you can scroll all the way down, looks like they have a very general email down here. I'm not seeing any phone number just yet, but locations and contact info should have something, right? Looks like we have a phone number here. Again, very general. They have different locations, so depending on which one or if you want all of them, but like I said, this one's pretty general. Looks like it just kind of goes by locations, and you're probably not going to get a real solid person here. So it's kind of up to you if you continue with this or if you just exit out and you start going down the list, right, on Google Maps. And so like I said, this is the incredibly manual way. You're going to do this for website after website after website after website. You're going to be scanning and making sure you can, find someone there, find a phone number, find a name, a job title. It's a lot, right? And it can take hours and hours of your time, but it's important to do the prospect hunting first before kind of the outreach part of things, before you even pick up a phone or send an email, because I promise you, you are not gonna wanna go back and forth and back and forth. So that is, in general, kind of the manual way that a lot of people do their prospect hunting if you don't want to really pay for a service or a platform yet. But what would this video be if not for a better option, right? And so this is where Apollo.io comes in handy, and we will leave a link down below if you want to get started with this. But what it does is essentially what I just showed you, just on a much faster and larger scale. And kind of scrolling down here, you can kind of see what it offers and how it works on the left, right? You're starting with building your pipelines. So you're getting the contacts. They're, ranking them on relevancy, quality, and initial optimizations. You can filter by job titles, locations within your list. If you want, maybe to target larger or smaller companies. Do you want to use industry keywords, right? So for fitness, do you want the owners? What location do you want? Usually it makes sense to kind of stay where you are and then branch out. So make sure you're in the United States if that's where you are. So once you have that list in here, you can export. You can export into your Excel spreadsheet. I say this, you don't want to just take all of those contacts that you just got from Apollo.io and just start, going and outreaching and everything, right? Vet your contacts, people. Are the websites even accurate? Are they even active? Are they relevant to what you're actually trying to pitch here eventually? And so once you've kind of vetted those sites, and you have that in your Excel file, maybe you've weeded down the list a little bit in different tabs. The next part, obviously, is what you were doing, finding those emails, those mobile numbers, whatever it is, from the people on your list that will be on those websites as well, right? And this is where, again, you can go as manual as you want, right? Where you do it yourself, that I was kind of showing you. But this is where a lot of people also opt to find someone on Fiverr. So just kind of finding someone on Fiverr here with lead generation or lead qualification. Scrolling down, you can sort by price, LinkedIn lead generation, email finding, B2B lead generation, LinkedIn's, email scraping, whatever it is. And so once you find someone, you will likely pay them based on the size of your list. So if you only have a list of 100 contacts or something, it's probably not going to be that expensive. But if you have, 5,000 people, it's going to take them a lot longer. You'll probably pay them accordingly. And so now that all of that is done, you probably have multiple tabs in your Excel spreadsheet now with, big lists at the beginning and now a really kind of refined, weeded out list with some really high quality prospects and leads on the last tab. And this is where it's all up to you now, cold calling, email marketing. Again, I personally would call what I just went over prospect generation, but once you get interest, say someone replies to your email, for example, with a, can you tell me more, or I'm interested, or whatnot, that is a true lead in my opinion. But make sure you're kind of going back, you're updating your lists and spreadsheets as such. And that's really it, the selling and outreach is kind of all on you to use different platforms to get to them or cold calling, etc. But these tactics, like I've been saying, can be as manual, or you can pay for them if you want. Apollo.io does have a free version, but also has pricing at $50 per month, $80 per month, or even up to $120 per month. Each plan obviously varies just based on how many contacts you want to export, different types of services that they offer for each plan. But if you want to save yourself a headache, we're obviously going to link to them below. And like I said, Fiverr is obviously going to be based on the size of the list, as I stated. And for someone just starting out with their business, you may not want to pay anything. So definitely be prepared for some solid hours in the prospect hunting arena. And that really is it for me today in this video. We covered a lot, and honestly, it's really easy to get the hang of this, especially after, the first few prospects are found. Personally, I would recommend doing a few manually first before you start paying other people, just so you kind of understand how it works. But in general, I would probably pay, for a service or a platform to generate the web and people lists and someone on Fiverr to scrape for the emails and phone numbers for you. But that's it. Good luck, and I'll see you in another video.